Have you ever noticed that when you talk bad about other people or you criticize or judge them, you end up feeling like poop? And have you ever noticed that whenever you lift other people up and encourage them and tell them how much you appreciate them, you both end up feeling amazing? There's a science behind that, and it's called bucket filling, and that's what I want to share with you today. I'm Nikki Elledge Brown, the communication stylist, and in this video I'm going to tell you about bucket filling, the unusual but simple secret to daily happiness. This video was inspired by a number of events in my personal life in the last month, including but not limited to this children's book called Have You Filled a Bucket Today? It's by Carol McLeod, and I bought it last Christmas and sent it over here to my parents' house for my nieces and nephews to enjoy. Last week, I read it to my son, and I had a light bulb moment, and I realized this is not just a guide to daily happiness for kiddos. This is a communication life lesson that adults and grown-ups need to hear too. The idea behind the book is that we all walk around carrying invisible buckets, and at any given moment, you can either be a bucket filler or a bucket dipper. When you dip into somebody else's bucket to try to fill your own, it never works. But when you fill someone else's bucket, you will always end up filling your own as well. And if you think about it, that makes perfect sense, because if you are trying to make yourself feel better by talking bad about somebody else, you both end up feeling like poop. But if you lift someone up and tell them how much you encourage them or what you appreciate about them, then you both end up feeling amazing. It's the magic of bucket filling. So I wanted to just take a minute and share with you a couple of these examples from my life in the last month that have really driven this message home for me. A month ago, we celebrated my dad's 60th birthday, and my sisters and I asked our family and friends to send in their favorite memories or stories or even one-liners with my dad. The goal was to fill a book with 60 memories. We ended up with like 100, and we had to fill 2 books. And as you can imagine, Dad's bucket was overflowing. And our buckets were so filled and overflowing just watching him read those stories. The second example happened just this week, just a few days ago actually, and I was blessed with the unbelievable privilege to be in the room as my sweet Nani flew home with the angels. And I was in the room surrounded with my family, and I can't describe to you the peace that was there. And first and foremost, of course, it's attributed to her faith, to my papa's faith, and they set the bar and taught that to the rest of us. But I also attribute it to full buckets. You see, we had known this day was coming. We all had the opportunity to tell Nani to fill her bucket, to tell her how much we loved and appreciated her, and vice versa. And she felt the same, and she knew that she had been filling us up for her whole life, for Pete's sake, all of her kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. And that was such a beautiful thing. And the lesson, again, tying that in with my dad's birthday and with reading this book, I just realized, like, we don't have to wait for a special occasion. So there's the old saying, you've heard it in Bambi when Thumper said that his dad told him, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Then, of course, there's the Steel Magnolias version when Clarice says, if you can't say anything nice, come sit next to me. But today I want to propose a new version. It is a premium tip for quick and easy bucket filling. If you have something nice to say it. There is no reason to save the good stuff for special occasions. That's the message this week. That's the challenge and the call to action that I want to leave you with this week. Whether it's your grandmother or your client or the super sweet cashier down at the grocery store, fill someone's bucket today, and we will all be better for it. So in the comments over at NikkiElledgeBrown.com, I would love to hear, what are you going to do, or maybe what have you done already to fill someone's bucket today? Share with us how the goodness came right back to you. If you need an idea of how to get started, you can certainly share this video with somebody along with a really sweet and genuine message of appreciation. But whatever you do, just think about it. Think about a bucket. Think about your bucket and the buckets of the people around you. Everyone that you see is carrying a bucket. So how are you going to fill it? That's what I've got for you this week. Life is good. We are blessed. Let's go fill some buckets.